Good morning. Today is Monday morning, the 25th of February, 2013. Here's all the news it's worth talking about today in Panama. Okay. The only really big news story today is the first day of school. Classes are back in session. The summer vacation is over. So, every news headline has something to do with the return and the kids going back to school. Here we have in La Prensa, there's been a lot of criticism launched against the Lucy Molinardo, the Minister of Education, talking about how there's not schools ready. Well, there's two things that you can always do in Panama, which is really easy to do if you've got a video camera or a camera and you're a news reporter. You can always go out and find somebody who's poor and hungry, who's living in extreme poverty up in the mountains somewhere. If you want to say that the economy is screwed up, you can go find some poor guy and he goes, man, sucks here because I'm poor and it sucks. You can always find a poor guy. The other thing you can always find, there's 800,000 schools. I mean, that number can't be right. 800,000? Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I know there's a buttload of people, children, in the public schools. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, of schools scattered all over the country. So one thing that you can always find in this country is a public school in disrepair. It's easy to do. You just need a camera, you go out there and you find one. So what Martinelli calls the opposition news media, like La Prensa or Telemetro, they go out and they find, look, they got the video camera, and they're like, look, there's a school and the roof's falling down. Yeah, well, I looked into this stuff during when the PRD was in charge, and it's really, really hard to keep all of these contracts going because they're scattered all over the place. And there's one, Lucy Molinardo came out on a press conference yesterday, and she was like, listen, we got one school that we can't get done because two construction workers have sued the company who's trying to build it, and they've sequestered all of the equipment. So, in other words, hey, listen, we here at the Ministry of Education have granted that contract and we're following the law, yada, 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 but these two knuckleheads have closed down that school. And that's why the school's not ready to start the school year. Okay. So, the point being is, if you see these things about there's schools not ready, there's always schools that are not ready. It's like a kitchen. It always needs to be cleaned. So anyway, Lucy comes out in defense and saying that, well, we're working hard on spending all of the money. We spent millions of dollars, and the schools are in the best possible shape that they possibly can be, and we'll always be working on them, and yada, yada, yada. All right. Now, yesterday in San Felix, there was an accident, and a vehicle flipped over, and one person was killed. Now, that person was a school teacher who was being deployed to one of the schools in the Comarca, and was killed when the vehicle that he was in flipped over. And there were like 6 other people that were injured in that accident. Pretty much everybody else that was in the bus was hurt too, but that one guy died. So that was a sad start to the school year. Now, another thing that the opposition politicians are trying to do is they're trying to say that the school system is going to be privatized. And Lucy again came out in her press conference yesterday just saying that is ridiculous, it's false, it's malintentioned, that she said there's nobody, not a single person in the entire Ministry of Education, including her, who's talking about privatizing the system. And the school teachers, there's a very small minority of school teachers that just constantly try to do her harm because they don't like the changes that she's making. And the opposition press media that's just trying to put as many dings in the Martinelli administration as they possibly can, find these kinds of issues to talk about. And that's one of them. She's like, nobody's talking about privatizing the school, so you can stop listening to that bullshit. She didn't say bullshit, I did. Now, with the start of schools, one of the stories here that's in the, where are we at? Panama, America, talking about their transportation issues. So the students are arriving early and they've got to ride the metro bus and they're lining up in front of the schools and they're getting ready to go in for the first day. And then tagging on with that, and again, all weekend I've been talking about the mother of all traffic jams. Well, the traffic police is saying, please have patience this morning and take your time and leave early and give yourself enough time to get where you need to go. And of course, all the parents are taking their students to the first day of classes, so the traffic gets pretty screwed up. Okay, a couple of stories on politics here. Over the weekend, the Vice President, Juan Carlos Varela, they came out talking about the presidential candidates in the Cambio Democrático political party, and he called them disposable candidates. Like, there's like 2 or 3 that are just throwaway candidates. Like, they're running, but nobody thinks they're going to win. Well, that was his intention. But then one of them, Jose Domingo Arias, who was the housing minister, he came out and said Varela is the only disposable candidate, and then he just lit him up, talking about going negative on Varela. Varela opposed the expansion of the Panama Canal, but now he likes it. Varela is talking about social justice, but he doesn't pay his candidates. He doesn't pay his workers minimum wage. And there's just several things that they've got. They've got Varela where they could beat him up pretty hard. And there's really not much of a chance of Juan Carlos Varela, the current vice president, and the only reason he's the vice president is because he got into that alliance with Martinelli, and then that alliance fell apart because he brought in the Finmecánica problems. He brought that corruption thing, which they just barely dodged, but that was Varela's responsibility, which is why he got fired. Now, also over the weekend, President Martinelli attended a wedding. It was the wedding of one of his assistants, and he's having a good time at the wedding and partying and stuff. He starts twittering out pictures of him dancing with Mireya Moscoso, the former president from the Panamanista Party. In other words, the message is loud and clear. Hey man, we're still in with several significant elements of the Panamanista Party. That Juan Carlos Varela guy, you all need to get rid of him, and then when that happens, then we're all good once again. So it's pretty interesting to watch this dynamic here that's going on as half of the Panamanista Party sinks and the other half is willing to climb back on board with these guys. So it's anyway, politics. Okay, where are we at here? Good. The most dangerous day of the week in Panama is Sunday. Most murders occur on Saturday night into Sunday morning. Did you know that? Anyway, every day on Monday morning, there's always a couple of, crime and violence stories. Here's a guy who was, I think this actually occurred this morning early. There was a guy who was waiting at a bus stop, and a couple of kids come up and went to rip him off, and he tried to resist and defend himself. They shot him, killed him. This was in out near the area of the 24 de Diciembre out past Tucuman, and the 2 kids were arrested. So when I say kids, minors, I mean they're under the age of 18. They've been arrested. But unfortunately, there you go, just standing at a bus stop, guy gets blown away because they wanted to take his wallet and his cell phone or whatever. And here's another one. There's a woman that was attacked. She was in San Miguelito, and she came walking out of her house, and there's a couple of guys outside waiting for her, and shot her just to take her stuff. I mean, it's just unfortunate, this routine. I call it routine crime and violence. There was a spike in the level of murders in Panama. It peaked at about 2008 to 2009. It's been coming down every year since. But every day, I mean, it's a country of more than 3 million people, so there's this level of crime that does occur. Well, anyway, that's it. I'm done and out. There's all the news that's worth talking about today for Panama. Today is Monday, the 25th. On Wednesday, the 27th, I will be at the meeting of the Playa Beach community. I believe it's at the Paraíso, which is a restaurant on the road going up to El Valle. So I will be there at 11 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday morning this week. So I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm just going to show up and talk, I guess. I think I'm the entertainment, so I'm going to have to do something entertaining. I don't dams. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.